Good morning, class. I am teacher Richelle, and our topic today is all about characteristics of arts from the various art movements. So, let us proceed. First, we have the objectives. At the end of the lesson, 80% of students should be able to define the art movements, identify the various art movements and its characteristics, and classify the different kinds of art movements. So class, I have here 5 pictures and ang inyong buhaton is to identify which art movements part of its pictures. So, do you have an idea about art movements? So, the first question is, what is art movements? Second, what are the kinds of art movements? Third, what are their characteristics? The first one is the Impressionism. In the second half of the 19th century emerged the Impressionist movement. Impressionist artists move away from the established practices and discover many ways. They use pure unmixed colors, side by side using short, broken strokes for more visual effect on the subject. So this picture shows about Impressionism. So Expressionism, another group of artists who become popular in 1990s is the Expressionists. They created works that more emotional face and not the realistic or natural things. To attain this, they use distorted outlines, unrealistic or unnatural images. The different styles that emerge within the Expressionist art movements are: the first one is the Neo-Primitivism, second, Dadaism, third, Fauvism, fourth, Surrealism, and fifth, Social Realism. So, Neo-Primitivism. Neo-Primitivism is an art style of combined elements from the native of arts that South Sea Islanders, the wood cravings of African tribes. So here are the examples of pictures about Expressionism. B. Fauvism. Fauvism is a style of Les Fauves French of the Wild Best, a group of early 20th century modern artists whose works emphasize with strong colors and visual distortions. The most known artist of Fauvism was Henri Matisse. The characteristics of Fauvism include: first is the importance of unnatural colors gives new, emotional, and meaning to the colors. Second, creating a strong, unified work that appears flat on the canvas. C. Dadaism. Dadaism is a style characterized by imagination, remembered images, and visual tricks and surprises. As the paintings of Marc Chagall and Gregorio de Chirico below, these artists turned their backs from using traditional styles in arts, leading to their new style called non-style. So letter D is Surrealism. Surrealism came from the term superrealism, a style that depicts an illogical, subconscious dream world. It's a clear expression of departure from reality, as if the artist were dreaming, seeing illusions, or experiencing a change in mental state. E. Social Realism. Social realism is an art movement that expresses the artist's role in social reform. The artists use their works to show protest against injustice, inequalities, immorality, and other concerns of the human condition. Abstractionism. Abstractionism is in 20th century is a movement existed from various intellectual points of view. This intellectualism was reflected in art. Expressionism was emotional, while abstractionism was logical and rational. Geometrical shapes, patterns, lines, angles, textures, and spheres of color were used. The abstractionist movement has 4 styles, namely Cubism, Futurism, Mechanical style, and Non-objectivism. So this picture is example of abstractionism. Letter A. Cubism. The Cubist style was derived from the word cube, a three-dimensional geometric figure composed of lines, planes, and angles. B. Futurism. Futurism is a style of art that began in Italy in the early 90s. It's an art of fast-paced and machine-propelled age. So C. Mechanical style. In a mechanical style of art, basic from such as planes, cones, and spheres, as cylinders all fit together is precise and neat number. Letter D. Non-objectivism. From the term non-object, works in the non-objectivism styles did not make use of figures or even presentations of figures. So, OP art and pop art. Optical art or OP art is another art movement that gives a visual experience, a form of action painting, taking place in the viewer's eye or giving the illusion of movement. This picture is an example of optical art. Popular art or pop art is a movement made of the use of commonplace, trivial, even nonsensical objectives that some artists seem to enjoy and laugh at. Contemporary art forms. There are two kinds of contemporary art forms. The first one is the installation art and performance art. Installations art is contemporary art from the make use of sculpture, materials, and the other media to modify the way the viewer experiences a particular space. It is also called environmental art, project art, and temporary art. Second is performance art. Is a form of modern art in which actions of an individual or a group of particular place at a particular time constitution to work. It involves four basic elements, namely the time, space, the performer's body, and the relationship between the performer and the audience. So here is the example of contemporary art forms. Our lesson is almost done, class, so I want you to have a group into 5. So I will choose a group 1 to 5 and please answer these questions. So I will group you now. So you have 20 minutes to prepare and I have here a piece of cartolina and alam ninyo ibutang inyong answers. So group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5. So the choices are expressionism, abstractionism, contemporary art forms. So I have here 5 questions and siya is jumbled letters and you have to arrange and identify which art movements belong. So you have to start now in 20 minutes. To start na. Very good, class. You listen me attentively because majority you have answers. And let us proceed now our evaluation. I have here a piece of bond paper. Questions 1 to 10 ni siya. Then please answer directly because na siya provided questions na ni siya sa bond paper. So you have to answer 10 minutes kay dali ra jud kay ni siya kay 10 items ra ni siya. Multiple choices and write the letter in beside of the number. So start now. Thank you, class, for listening and cooperate for this morning. So I have assignment for you. So for your assignment, write in your notebook. For your assignment, research on importance of arts in our daily lives. So on opinion ra ni siya. So isuot lang niyo sa notebook. So goodbye and God bless, class.